Hello everyone, with Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is 7:57 a.m. Monday morning, July 15, 2024. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video. I'd really appreciate it if you guys get this video up to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons who are in the path of these tropical systems so we can keep everyone safe this Atlantic hurricane season, especially during the peak, that's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Leave a comment down below letting me know what the weather's been like in your area recently. Also, feel free to ask any weather-related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so let us take a look at the U.S. National Hurricane Center 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook. We can see that they still have nothing highlighted, and there's no tropical cyclone activity that's expected during the next 7 days. But on their Atlantic discussion, you can see that they've highlighted numerous tropical waves, one across the eastern tropical Atlantic, one across the central tropical Atlantic, another one across the central Caribbean, and another one across the western Caribbean. Some of these have a lot of thunderstorms, some of them don't, some of them are very dry because of the Saharan dust. We can see all of that being represented here on the surface map of the Atlantic for this morning. First of all, we can see the ridge of high pressure right here that we know is responsible for sending all of the easterly trade winds across the main development region, and with the easterly trade winds we have the tropical waves as well as some Saharan dust. Here is the tropical wave across the eastern Atlantic, the other tropical wave right here across the central tropical Atlantic, that's the main development region, another tropical wave across the central Caribbean right there to the east of Jamaica, and another tropical wave right here off screen across the western Caribbean. If we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic as the sun is starting to come up, we can definitely see the clouds associated with some of the tropical waves. One tropical wave right here affecting portions of Central America, another tropical wave right here across portions of the Central Caribbean that's affecting portions of Hispaniola as we speak. Another tropical wave, but most of them are squashed down to the south in the intertropical convergence zone, and it makes sense because there's a lot of dry air associated with the Saharan dust across the northern portion of the main development region. You can also see a trough right here to the north of the Puerto Rico, the Leeward Islands region. We'll be talking more about the rest of the Caribbean weather later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for Sunday, July 14. It was stated that we would have received some rainfall across sections of some western parishes, and if you remember yesterday's video, it was stated that we would have received some rainfall across sections of some northern parishes as well. And we know western parishes, by the way, northern parishes, I know we're talking about Portland, St. Mary, St. Anne, Trelawney, St. James, Hanover. Western parishes, I know we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall, so St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, and Trelawney. And what ended up happening? The infrared satellite image was posted on our Twitter page at Weather Jamaica. Keep in mind that these posts aren't only made here on our Twitter page, but on our Instagram page at Weather.Jamaica, on our TikTok page at Weather Jamaica, and on our Facebook page at Weather Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there, as we may post throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So first things first, the visible satellite, well, the infrared satellite images or imagery was posted, and it shows some thunderstorms affecting sections of the northwestern portion of the island, more so Hanover than anything else, and this was valid for about 1:25 p.m. Then as the afternoon progressed, we started to see more clouds building, and another post was made highlighting some thunderstorms, and we saw the sparkling yellow dots that will now represent some amount of lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes, definitely affecting sections of Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, even sections of St. Anne got in on the mix as well. If we take a look at this morning, however, we can see that there was definitely some amount of clouds raking some northern parishes this morning, bringing some isolated showers to sections of St. Anne, sections of St. Mary might have gotten in on the mix. You know, Portland can't be outruled from getting some of that rainfall, some of that into Trelawney as well. And the infrared satellite images confirm the isolated thunderstorm activity. You see those sparkling white dots? We see the high cold cloud tops and the greens and the yellows and the oranges. So definitely some isolated thunderstorms, definitely scraping sections of some northern parishes this morning. And we can see all of it being represented by the Cuban Doppler radar images right here. Still having some rainfall right there across sections of coastal areas of St. James, northwestern Trelawney right there. And as of the latest image, as of 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 8 a.m. Jamaica time. So this just came out 3 minutes ago. We can definitely see that there's still some amount of rainfall affecting those northern regions. But as we can see on See Jamaica's YouTube channel, there's nothing to see here on the Kingston City view. It's very sunny, but that could change this afternoon because the pattern has shifted. Yesterday, the pattern was more favoring northern Jamaica. The pattern is favoring southern Jamaica today, Monday, so we might get in on some rainfall on southern parishes during the afternoon. Taking a look at the temperatures right now, we can see that we have 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 26 degrees Celsius in Kingston. And as the day progresses, these temperatures are supposed to rise. This map is valid for 18th on Monday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Monday. And we see Jamaica right here embedded in some orange colors. They represent up to 1 to 2 to even 3 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures. And we know the normal temperatures for the month of July across Jamaica are about 91 degrees Fahrenheit. When we take a look at the thermometer, 91 degrees Fahrenheit is about the same as 32.7 degrees Celsius. So we should be receiving anywhere from 32 to maybe 35 degrees Celsius at most for Jamaica's temperature on Monday. As relates to the Saharan dust forecast, this is valid for 2 p.m. on Sunday. Oh, looks like we're gonna have to get the right image. So that was 2 p.m. on Sunday. Today is Monday. So this is the image right here. So we can see it right here that we indeed have some amount of browns around Jamaica. Not a vigorous plume, but it is going to be noticeable. Maybe some hazy skies, and we know how these things go. It might trigger some amount of respiratory illnesses in some persons. We see some of these browns across portion of the Eastern Caribbean, the Western Caribbean, section of the Gulf of Mexico, the Bahamas. But what we don't want to see is this vigorous plume right here, the very darker shades of browns that we know can cause some tremendous hazy skies, as well as trigger some amount of respiratory illnesses in some persons. And we know all of this is eventually pushing westward, so it's going to be getting near Jamaica later this week. Hopefully it dwindles down in intensity by that time. As relates to the wave forecast, this has been the trend all week. Most of the Caribbean getting in on those 0.5 to 1.5 meter wave heights as seen by the lighter shades of blues to darker shades of blues by the key on the bottom right, while the purples are to the far south of Jamaica, to the north of Colombia and Panama City. They represent up to 2 meter wave heights, and that's because the winds are going to be strongest down there. Brighter greens and yellows that represent 20 to 25, maybe even gusting to 30 knots from the east northeast, while the rest of the Caribbean should be getting on those duller green colors that represent anywhere from 5 to 10 to even 15 knots. But we can definitely see the general direction is out of the east. But as it relates to the wind forecast across Jamaica, we can see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in consensus that yes, we should be still getting in on that easterly flow, more east-northeasterly than anything else on the north coast, which explains the rainfall that they're getting right now. More easterly on the south coast, but look at where we're going to be having the least amount of winds today. Look at where all of the air is going to be piling up today. So we might have those cumulus clouds becoming mid-level rain clouds, if not upper level cumulonimbus clouds across some southern parishes. So it could favor some isolated thunderstorms in the afternoon for sections of southern Jamaica. We know southern parishes, we're talking about Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Andrew and St. Thomas. So get ready for the afternoon rainfall. However, as of right now, we can definitely see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in consensus that northern Jamaica is getting some morning rainfall. We're already seeing that on the Doppler radar images. We're already seeing that on the visible satellite images. So this is valid for 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 9 a.m. Jamaica time. We're just an hour away from it happening, considering that it's 8:07 a.m. or it has already happened, if I'm not mistaken. But as we go into the afternoon, this is 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 2 p.m. Jamaica time. And we see the consensus that yes, there's going to be some amount of rainfall for section of some central western parishes, but we see the consensus even more for southern Jamaica with those darker blues. So definitely sections of Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Andrew might get some of the afternoon rainfall. And we see that both the Euro and the GFS malls are in consensus with this happening, even although they're trying to incorporate some northern parishes. I'm more inclined to believe that southern Jamaica is going to be receiving the brunt of the afternoon rainfall. And even by 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's actually 6 p.m. Jamaica time, we still see some of these blues lingering, the rainfall lingering across, especially in northern parishes right there, the northeastern portion of the island. We'll see exactly what unfolds. Either way, both Euro and the GFS accumulated precipitation forecast are showing that there's going to be some amount of rainfall somewhere across Jamaica within the next 24 hours. These maps are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Monday. And we see the Euro showing up to 0.38 of an inch of rainfall. GFS not so much. Either way, we'll take it. We're in the month of July. We usually receive less rainfall in both Montego Bay and Kingston, millimeters, inches. So you can do the math, because we'll take all the rainfall that we can get to do something about the heat that we've been experiencing recently. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So as stated, tropical wave definitely doing a number on portions of Central America, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, section of Haiti and Dominican Republic getting that somewhat of isolated showers associated with that tropical wave. And we can see the numerous tropical waves and the moisture associated with them squashed down, associated with the intertropical convergence zone. The tropical waves are actually up here, but there is a bit too much dust up into the northern portions of the main development region for us to even see the dust that's taking place. But if we take a look at the Doppler radar images of the northeastern Caribbean, we can see what's taking place. Not much, as we can see maybe some isolated showers might have taken place overnight if we put these images into motion. So maybe section of the Dominican Republic definitely got some amount of rainfall. But as of the latest Doppler radar image, we can see that most of the rainfall is confined to section of Guadeloupe, Dominica, Martinique. And we can see it all even better on the Barbados radar, showing all of that rainfall even coming into section of St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines getting nailed right now, some heavy rainfall. Not much taking place across Grenada, but some amount of rainfall in and around Barbados. Not much taking place across Tobago, but we do see that rainfall to the east of Trinidad. Who knows, maybe some of that might make it there. If we take a look at the wider view of Doppler radar images, we don't see much happening at all. Some rainfall across section of southeastern Nicaragua, southern Belize getting on some of the rainfall, southern Florida, sections of central Colombia, waters to the northeast of Suriname and French Guyana, and that's just about it. But as relates to the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Monday, we can definitely see some isolated showers in store for these areas that both the Euro and the GFS malls have highlighted. So section of Florida, Cuba, the Bahamas, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, not so much across Puerto Rico, but areas east of there for sure. So maybe St. Martin, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Bart's, Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, Guadeloupe, Dominica, Martinique, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, Colombia, Guyana, Suriname, French Guyana, sections of eastern and western Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, not so much El Salvador, but definitely a section of Guatemala, Belize, the Yucatan Peninsula, and we even see some isolated shores for sections of the Cayman Islands too. I know that when both maps from the Euro and the GFS are in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.